Hi folks, I'm Matt, and let's talk about Lucasfilm versus the fans. Now, this is a topic that has been old news, right? For the past, oh gosh, ever since Last Jedi came out. This has been news. Tons of YouTube channels have harped over and over in repetitive fashion about what they thought, and I thought I'd throw my insight into the ring here about what I'm seeing going on here, because to be honest, folks, I can't believe it, all right? Now, of course, this is how Lucasfilm and other fans, I should say other fans really, this is how other fans treated the EU fans when they left. You know, Lucasfilm didn't mock as much, even though there were people here and there that said a few things, but it was like other fans just mocking and being really mean. Well, that crazy mentality has switched over to Lucasfilm over the backlash of Last Jedi. Now let's back up here for a minute. Last Jedi, when it came out, was very diverse. It was 50-50 on Rotten Tomatoes. And of course back then they weighed off saying, oh, that's a small contingent. It's really 99 to 1%. So 1% is the only people who don't like it. Well, now it's become evident it really was 50, right? Because you see more and more people coming out on YouTube, social media, just the internet articles, and just saying how much garbage was The Last Jedi. So this is kind of steamrolled, and to be honest, it's Lucasfilm's fault. It's totally Lucasfilm's fault on how this is blown up. They had a chance to, you know, cut it down, but they did not. And the people firing the biggest shots, I mean, there's tons of people connected, you know, to Lucasfilm here or there, loosely connected, meaning authors who are just saying idiotic things to the fans and whatnot. But you got three of the biggest names connected to the business. First off, Kathleen Kennedy, who runs Lucasfilm. Okay? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Folks, years ago I told you I didn't know who was responsible for Star Wars' new, you know, PC culture agenda field turn. I didn't know if that was Bob Iger from Disney saying this is what we want, or Kathleen Kennedy. I remember saying this. Well, it's clear it's Kathleen Kennedy, right? She's basically come out and said it. It was me, ha ha ha. You know, it's like a Scooby-Doo ending. She ripped off her mask and, you know, whoa, it was Kathleen Kennedy this whole time. And so here's Kathleen telling fans that the Force is female. You know, she has her female stormtrooper women, and she's saying, yeah, Force is female. People are like, no, it's not. The Force is not female or male. The Force is the Force. And I'm like, no, actually, the Force is a totally non-existent thing that George picked up and put in his movie. It was based off mystic and religion, a little bit combined both. That's what the Force is. It's nothing. It's something made up. It's fake. It's phony. It does not exist. Why do we have to put a gender on it? But that's what Kathleen Kennedy does, right? She says stuff like, we don't need males. We don't need male fans. Force is female. Females. Dude, there are tons of females who hated The Last Jedi. Look anywhere online, you'll see tons of females complain about this movie. Okay, tons of people complain about this movie. All minorities too, so it's not just minorities. Maybe those people are racist. I don't know, maybe the minorities are racist. Maybe, maybe those females are very sexist because they hate strong females. I don't know. It's crazy though. All right, so first off, Kathleen Kennedy, she rules the roost and she stirs up the fans' anger, okay? But that's not it. Really, the ones shooting the biggest arrows are J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson. J.J. Abrams, well, the reason they don't like Last Jedi is because they hate strong females. Wow, what an idiotic thing to say. And folks, I can guarantee J.J. Abrams regrets saying that big time after what happened to Solo. When Solo tanked, there is a saying, Albert Einstein defined insanity as doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting a different result. Lucasfilm trashes the fans who hated Last Jedi. And I'm saying like Rian Johnson. Rian Johnson interviews before Solo. He said, I'm glad we ruined their childhood. Stupid fans. They don't like strong females. And that's what JJ says too. Even though there are females complaining about this, and they didn't want to mention that because that would just blow up everything for them. But they wanted to paint them in a certain picture. In fact, there was this artist who did this poster, you know, with Luke carrying a big gun and Rey next to the stove, because that's how people think about the people who hated Last Jedi. They're just a bunch of bigots and racists and sexists and blah, blah, blah. You know, it reverts to name calling. which is not helping anything, because they're obviously not understanding that when someone doesn't like the same thing you like, that doesn't mean they're a fill in the blank. It means they just have a difference of opinion. But instead of just saying, okay, well, sorry you didn't like it, I liked it, sorry you didn't. No, they go ahead and just outright try to throw them under the bus. They're racist, they're sexist, they're biggest. You fill in the blank. Whatever word we can call you to make you look bad in front of everyone. That only angers the fan base. People who are sitting on the fence on this totally flip sides, say, you know what? I don't like Lucasfilm's attitude toward the fans. I think I'm stepping away from this too. Because to be honest, it's very childish. It is very extremely childish on what they're doing. Rian Johnson, he's like, my movies are happening anyway, fans. Deal with it. And then, you know, it's a stupid idea to try to remake Last Jedi. That's a stupid idea with that campaign. But instead of just taunting those fans, why not just, I don't know, ignore it? Because it's never going to happen. Just ignore it. I don't know. The possibility of that story getting as much coverage as it did makes me think that maybe I should stop and just get out of the hobby altogether. Because if that's what they think is news for the Star Wars franchise, oh my goodness. We should just shake our head and move on and not even mention that. We should. I regret mentioning it right now. But anyway, Rian Johnson has to taunt them and laugh at them and pick on them like some big bully. And it's just wild that I got to go back to Kathleen Kennedy here, that she thinks it's okay for the directors that are deeply involved with their movies to be insulting fans. Well, I mean, she's been doing it the whole time, so I guess it doesn't matter, right? But the thing is, they're shocked when Solo bombs. And I'm going to say bombs, even though it made tons of money, it didn't make back its money from its production. So therefore, it's a box office bomb. And Solo bombs, they're shocked. And you think they may apologize? No! More hate keeps pouring out. Man, the media opens the gates. You know, the people who love to stir up the most hate over at Force.net start stirring the pot, you know, calling these fans every single name. How dare they? I mean, they just want chaos over there. I'm almost convinced. But anyway, it is insane. It is insane on what goes on. And Lucasfilm, instead of telling the people connected to it, say, hey, stop. That's what Kathleen Kennedy should have done. Said, hey, stop. We don't need this. This is childish behavior. We're name-calling our fans. It's like walking into a store saying, I'm sorry, I got a defective product. And they're saying, well, I think you're sexist because I'm a woman and I sold it to you and that's really why you're wanting to return it, so I'm not going to give you your money back. And then flip them off. And you'd be like, wait, what? I mean, because seriously, when I see the stuff that's coming out of Rian Johnson's mouth, J.J. Abrams shut up, because if you notice, after Solo bombed, he's been because he doesn't want this to happen to Episode 9. And now, so maybe a light bulb's forming in his head, but Rian Johnson keeps just mouthing off and everything. You know, screw you fans. Solo's bombing. Okay, this isn't it. I wrote an article that had to be taken down because Ben Shapiro's picture is offensive to some people. But anyway, regardless, Ben Shapiro is saying that people trying to defend Kathleen Kennedy are wrong because man, woman, whoever she is a bad CEO. She's a bad figurehead for Lucasfilm, and I have to agree there, right? If you look at toy sales are down. They were super down. They drug. You saw the reports online. It came out everywhere. In fact, this is awesome. This past weekend, I was over at my wife's aunt's house, and she had a movie that she had recorded back during Christmas for her grandson. So whenever her grandson visits, she plays the movie off of her DVR. Well, it was playing Christmas commercials. And folks, you need to go back and check this out if you have a movie or something recorded from last December still. But it makes perfect sense. Target is running a special on all Star Wars merchandise, 20% off. So is Walmart. So is Toys R Us. And I'm going, wait a minute, what? Yeah, they're all throwing out. Now, of course, you could say, well, Matt, Star Wars, the movie had just come out. Yeah, but you're already throwing 20-30% off your toys when the movie's at its hottest. I mean, yeah, there's the Christmas deal too, but it kind of makes sense. Now that we know that these people stopped their orders, they did not order anything more from Hasbro because they had too much stock. Now you see they were just trying to get rid of it by lowering it, thinking, okay, now that the movie's out, maybe someone will buy it. Folks, I went to Toys R Us. It's the last day it was open just to see what was available. I'm not even making this up. There was a full block section, 2 full shelves, 1 big aisle in the middle, packed with Star Wars stuff. No one's buying it. No one's buying it. And to add insult to injury, they had these little kid driver's cars, you know, the mini cars. They're battery operated. Kids can drive around. I always wanted one as a kid, but we were too poor to get one. You know, like the Barbie Jeep, the Corvette, stuff like the police car, you know, a little kid can drive around outside, really cool. All that stuff was selling for like pennies on the dollar. Well, I say pennies on the dollar. It's usually $600, $700, but now it's like $350 or $300. But they had a Star Wars land speeder, which as a kid, I would have died if I'd have gotten in that thing. But, you know, but anyways, for little kids, and that land speeder, they literally had 20 of these out. It was more than any of the other vehicles they had out. They had 20 of them for $100 a piece. $100. Something that's going for sale for like $600. Now they're trying to sell for $100, and they couldn't get rid of a single one, folks. My wife even thought, maybe we should buy one. Like if we have a kid, that'd be kind of cool. I was like, yeah, but no, let's not. $100, you can't give it away. You can't give these toys away. So that's one big thing there. And then the second one, you have the DVD sales, which are lagging too. And then Solo comes out, underperforms. There's no wonder Iger's upset. Now, I do believe the rumor. At first, I didn't believe the rumor, but now I do believe the rumor. Not that Iger was upset, but that Iger is looking to replace Kathleen Kennedy. I thought, no, he's going to hold on to her until episode 9 comes out. If episode 9 underperforms, she is so fast out the door. Now, I still think she's going to last till episode 9, but I do believe Iger's upset. Only because, not because of that girl on YouTube that made that, I have some inside information at Lucasfilm. I don't believe her at all. What I do believe is when I see Kathleen Kennedy's husband like a tweet from someone who says it's so unfair that Bob Iger's trying to place this failure on Kathleen's shoulders, and her husband liked the tweet and everyone went, wait, what? That's when my ears perked up. I was like, what just happened there? Whoa, wait a minute. So obviously she is in hot water. Now, as for all that's going on behind Lucasfilm's closed doors, I have no idea. But this ludicrousy, this, as Albert Einstein defined, insanity at Lucasfilm, that you still have to attack fans. And then you're shocked when the response is, we're not going to go see your movies anymore. And then what do? You keep attacking them. What? Where is the logic in that? I do not know. So I just want to say that I think it's awful how these fans are being treated, how they're being labeled. I know what it feels like being an EU fan. So, you know, it's just awful. So I think Lucasfilm really needs to cut it out because, to be honest, this way they are going to drive Star Wars into the ground. Now, will Star Wars go away forever? Never. It may have to take a break, a couple of years break like Star Trek did to reboot itself for the fans. But the way they're going, they are driving it into the ground hard. And that is, of course, in my opinion. All right, folks, that's all the time I have for now. See ya next time with another video.